Hello and welcome back to the Sports Center YouTube channel. Me and Carl are here today talking about injuries in the Premier League, and specifically, does keeping your players fit basically mean that you're going to win the title? What you reckon, Carl? What you saying about this one?
The way you worded it then, I don't think just by keeping your players fit wins you the title. But if I think it's proven this year,
All right,
like
let me reword it then. So, is it coming down to a case of the best teams are not going to win the title anymore? It's coming down to who can keep the best players fit. Like the main the bulk of the squad fit.
I don't know because I think you're still going to have the best teams. Like you could sit for argument's sake, you're not going to have, I don't know, West Ham if they keep all their players fully fit, they're not going to win the league, are they? It's still going to
Yeah,
be your best teams.
yeah. I'm so
But
we're talking like your City, your Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal.
you your top five or six
Yeah, yeah.
teams,
Your big hitters, what shall we say?
yeah. Well, I think Arsenal's proven it, haven't they, this year? They've fallen away. Liverpool have given them a couple of opportunities to get back in, and they've not been able to capitalise, all because of their injuries. I mean, you'll know better than me, but Liverpool don't seem to have had drastic injuries. They've had the keeper Jota every now and then,
Yeah.
but no one like long term, and a lot of them long term. I don't think so. That's probably all.
The only long term one that kind of jumps out at me from the top of my head now. We've had Alisson out for a quarter of the season, and look, we we're very lucky
Awesome
that we've
replacement.
probably got the best number two, and I don't think I'm biased when I say that we've probably got the best number two in the league.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jota's been out for a couple of months maybe, but again, we've got quite a lot of firepower. But is that testament to the fact of your recruitment, behind the scenes, given looking at, well, this is where we need to kind of strengthen in as team.
I think it's more testament to your fitness coaches and all. I mean, I don't even know how many coaches people have nowadays, but like coaches, there's people that giving. I had some other day with Wayne Rooney where they've got certain coaches they'll say, "Oh, so and so cat, you got to go light with him because he's had so much
Yeah,
intense training blah, 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 and all these stats and everything." And as much as coaches probably hate it, it probably is needed because of the workload that they're exposed to. So I think a lot of it boils down to them coaches giving the information that the that the manager needs. But I
well,
don't know what you think.
for me, now, obviously, I'm going to use Liverpool as an example because I'm a Liverpool fan and I watch Liverpool every week. Um, we've completely changed our playing style this season. We've gone from Klopp's and everyone's gone this heavy metal football. It was heavy metal to the start, but when Klopp first came in 2015, we had an absolute fuckload of hamstring injuries, and it was because the players, I believe, could be completely wrong, but I believe it because the players wasn't used to the fact that you're doing this Gengham pressing now. Basically, you lose the ball, you chase the ball, you lose the ball, you chase the ball. Players are pulling the hamstrings all over the shop. Obviously, you get a pre-season, you prime them, you fine tune them, you get them used to that way of playing. But Slot's coming now, and he's very more introvert than what Klopp's style was. He's more laid back. He's more use the extra pass.
Um,
Yeah, calm. Don't go chasing it. Sort of don't go chasing the game. Stay calm, stay relaxed, stay patient. And I do believe that that is a massive thing on why we've not had as many injuries. We've still had them, but not as many this season as we have other seasons gone by.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. I've often thought this and thought, why do managers, coaches, whatever you want to call them, come under more scrutiny for putting what seems to me from the outside too much workload on players, or too much, not strengthening certain areas of the bodies enough, or trying to strengthen them too much. There's got to be a fine line from and being right on the edge of them, a calf snapping or pulling, not snapping, but a muscle snapping or
Yeah, I've
straight.
been on the line of basically
Yes,
something going drastically
and
wrong.
and I do think that that's a lot down to the coaches and the manager. So I think you could play a lot of managers who who do play high pressing, they tend to have a lot of injuries, I feel.
Don't you feel like so many hamstring injuries these days? So many players are pulling up with hamstring injuries.
Yeah.
And I
But
think,
again,
I think
because
back.
everyone's playing high press, aren't they?
Mhm.
Everyone's wanting to play high press.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're just constantly running at full pelt.
What annoys me as well, and I'm gonna upset a couple of fan bases here, but whether that's because these clubs, and I'm alluding more to Man U and Arsenal here when I say this, maybe because these clubs are more bigger, the fan bases are bigger, they get more press, they get more publicity, but all you ever fucking hear about all the time is Arsenal
Yeah,
injuries,
the injury
Man
list.
United injuries. And don't get me wrong, they have got massive injury lists, even especially Man U, huge. I think at this moment in time, I'm looking now, and Man United
Tottenham.
have got 10 players. Tottenham's another one again, but a big fan base, a big club. But then I look down and it's like Newcastle. You've got 6 players currently out in Southampton, 8. Wolves,
Villa. I
Wolves,
think
eight.
Villa's pretty much their full defence. Or all their centre backs, should I say, except Tyrone Mings, are injured.
Yeah. I think Ipswich. I mean, don't get me wrong, these are all like starting players, but the first team squad players, Ipswich, I
Yeah.
think have got 10 out. But you never hear about it. Like Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth have had what have Bournemouth got currently 6. I think Evan Nielsen has just come back. So I think over the last few weeks they've had 7 to 8. You never hear anything about that. But all you hear about is Saka's out, so we haven't won this. Arsenal didn't win league 3 years ago because Saliba were injured for back end of the season. Fuck off, man. Like, seriously, like, you've got more funds than anyone. Not say not anyone, but you've got more funds than your Ipswich, your Southampton, your Bournemouth, all them. It's down to your manager and your recruitment to put the right players and the right squad together. And, don't get me wrong, Pep Guardiola were blessed with funds at City. But he put a squad together that could fight on every single front. And it was
Yeah.
like, Aki comes out, Guardiola comes in, Kyle Walker comes out, Cancelo came in over a couple of years ago. He had like for likes in every,
Yeah.
Mahrez, Sterling, Grealish, and he he had the funds, yeah, but he knew full well that his first
You-
11 couldn't do it.
But he utilised and bought right, didn't he? He knew what he needed and he bought them.
Yeah,
Whereas like go back to Arsenal, buying like what did they buy this year? Marino didn't
Marino
need
and
they didn't
Italian
need a
left
centre
back.
midfield.
What's Italian left back?
Calafiori.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe they did need a left back, but it wasn't as important as a forward. They didn't need a centre midfielder. Definitely not.
It wasn't cheap either. I think it was 40 million worth, 35,
Yeah.
40 million.
It was just ridiculous, and that's down to the manager and the recruitment team.
Yeah.
I think they don't get enough. I mean, I know they always come under pressure when they're not winning, but I don't think they come under enough scrutiny for like for transfers. Like if you always hear like, oh, he's a good signing, he's a bad signing, but that bad signing that comes down to your manager. That he's got to say he's not good enough for me, or I don't want to coach him, I don't need him.
Yeah.
They don't come under enough scrutiny for me, don't managers.
What in terms of the recruitment?
Recruitment and the fitness situation. I genuinely think they're running the football team out there, so they've got to say they've got to be accountable for X amount of injuries per
Players
team.
they get on the pitch. Yeah.
Or players that come in or go out. They've got to be held accountable for all that.
No, I think I tend to agree. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, some injuries you can't justify, can you? You get these freak injuries, they happen.
That's I mean, these sporadic injuries, yeah. But when it's constantly and it's a similar injury to this player, that player, all in your team or squad, there's a pattern there, and that pattern there shouldn't be any patterns. It should be very sporadic or very different injuries.
Yeah. No, I think I tend to agree with you, and I think kind of before wrap, I think my point more is I suppose I'm kind of sick of in the mainstream media hearing Arsenal didn't win the title because of this. so and so didn't win this because of this. Man City haven't won league this year because they didn't have Rodri. I'm like, no, I'm sorry.
No, that's
Your teams haven't been good enough, and every team has injuries. Some have worse. You know, every team has suspensions. Some have worse than others. But ultimately, it boils down to, and this is my opinion, it boils down to the best team throughout the course of the season tend to come out on top. And there's that old saying, the cream rises to the top.
but you're right though. From back to your first point, I think them that do come out at top tend to have the least amount of injuries or the least amount of long-term injuries.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a thing. And don't get me wrong, would Arsenal made a better challenge this season if they had Saka, Martinelli, and Kerr fit for longer? Probably so. But you know, then
That's
you've got
it's their fault for not having backup for them.
yeah,
I've said for months, if not a couple of years, that they've only got one right winger, and they're going to burn the hell out of Saka. He's going to burn him out because he plays every minute of every game. It's only a matter of time until he got an injury, and it's hit him this
yeah.
season.
I remember saying this to my dad years ago. Like he's class, but he's gonna burn him out. He's been playing week to week football, back to back Champions League, Premier League
Every
for
game he plays,
the best
full
part
90
of
minutes.
3 years now. And look, proof's in the pudding in it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so good chat. That let us know what you think in the comments below, guys. Do you think that clubs or fan bases in particular need to shut up about moaning about injuries and just get on with it, or do you think it's a bigger factor than what we think? Let us know. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because without doing that, we're no good to you, and we want to keep bringing you this content. So keep pushing that subscribe button, keep giving a like, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you later.